Welcome back to EasySpirit101. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for being here as always. Before we get into the reading, those of you who've been watching this channel with good intentions, of course, off and on for, the past couple of years with me, first of all, I really appreciate you. And second of all, I can't / won't fully get into why I don't post as much on this channel anymore, but as a courtesy, I'm gonna mention this time and maybe a couple of times over the next few readings that I do. A courtesy announcement for you guys is that in light of certain personal issues related to a very specific group of unwanted watchers I've had connected with this channel, I have deprioritized this, posting on this channel. I'm not taking the channel down completely. Those of you who have personal readings through my channel, you will still have access to those. And I'm not going to completely quit doing readings on this channel, but I have deprioritized it temporarily until further notice. You guys will kind of just know when I don't, when the issue has passed, because I'll be able to post back more like I used to. But in the meantime, for those of you who are still with me, I appreciate your patience, and it's going to fluctuate. Some weeks I'll be able to do more, some weeks I'm not going to do too many readings, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Thank you guys for your patience, for those of you who are still here, and we're gonna get into your Divine Collective reading. See what you guys need to know at this time. What does Divine Collective need to know? For those of you who have gotten personal readings with me in the past, you can still reach me through my 101 Easy Spirit email address for any kind of readings or whatever you want to do. That I'm still completely available and open for that if you choose to do so. That is how you would get a hold of me. As far as I don't have my prices and stuff listed on a website anymore. We can talk about it. We can work that out in email form. Some of you don't realize how close you are nearing your goal. And I really am talking to you. There's a certain group of those of you who maybe have had to go through, bigger challenges maybe than some of the other groups in the Divine Collective. And those of you who do experience a lot of adversity and now you're being seen as spirit, it's very deliberate. Now you're being seen as by spirit as someone who's very strong. A lot of you are in that group who see, you see the number 144 quite a bit. That message is for you. You are closer to some sort of end result or end goal than you realize. Somebody here, maybe you had a hiccup and you thought that something was over. Yeah, you thought that something was over or something wasn't gonna work out. You may have even stopped or withdrew yourself from this journey, from whatever this is for you altogether. And then you realize how protected you were. And maybe you kept going. Someone here, you're very close to the top. You're very nearing the top of something. You're nearing the end of something. Someone here very closely watched over and protected by your loved ones, ancestors. 444 on the clock as I was saying that. My goodness, that is confirmation. destiny. Someone here, you are already, even if, for instance, if you are in a specific kind of career at this time, there's something you're doing that is connected to, you have healing capabilities yourself. It's something about you using some sort of divinely gifted healing capabilities through whatever it is you do for work. And you're already, even if you change your job in the near future, you're already going in the right direction with something. Confirmation, action. You've been taking action on your truth here. This is part of your purpose. Someone here is like, I don't understand what my purpose was or is. This was and is part of your purpose, is learning how to walk forward in your truth. And for instance, maybe it came along, if you have some sort of healing capabilities or something noticeable about your energy that is very uplifting and helpful towards other people. It's really like healing energy. Someone here, maybe I'm getting healing hands specifically. Something about someone may even tell you that in your, wherever it is that you work or whatever you do for work, that you have really healing hands, or even past partners, you have a really healing touch. Something like that here. Even if your career changes over time, you're already like walking in this, the understanding, the knowing. I'm getting this gift here. Once upon a time, people could have even said there was something, people could have even said that, you know, maybe made something about this insulting here. But now you are in alignment. You're in perfect alignment. You overcame some sort of hurdle. And I think it had to do with doubt, really. That's how you overcame that hurdle. And now you're closer than ever. You're closer than ever to wherever, yeah, confirmation. And this here is like the death card here, which is transformation. Something's really about to change and shift as you keep focused. 44 again in the middle of this bullseye. You are very, very protected and watched over in your pursuits, especially when it comes to whatever obstacles you've been facing recently. I'm really getting more recently, so these obstacles may clear up for you in the near future. Yeah, someone here was really it's kind of coming through either like someone here who struggled with doubt quite a bit. You were doubting the direction you were going in. You were doubting yourself a lot. You were doubting what you were doing. Maybe even doubting your protection has come through, doubting how protected you were. You're starting to see the other side of that for somebody. For someone specific, you have an understanding or a knowing that you may be moving towards some sort of like divinely guided soulmate. Let's leave it at that. For some of you, it could be something more serious than that, but it's really coming through like divinely guided soulmate, like some sort of very specific relationship is heavy on your heart and your mind. Whatever you've been going through is part of what you needed to like mold you and shape you and prepare you. Prepare, highlight the word prepare. Whatever these obstacles have been, whatever this was you were supposed to be learning about, overcoming doubt or something to do with standing in your truth, standing in your confidence of who and what you are, no matter what I'm getting. So someone here may get around certain individuals and start doubting your nature. You may be someone here who is very provoked for someone. Someone here can be very provoked by other individuals around you, but I'm also getting someone here, it's like when you get around other groups of individuals, is you lose sight of who your individuality. You start to lose sight of you know, who and what you are, or what the significant standing of your presence within that group may mean. Confirmation with the moon energy, that was something that kind of a personal journey you had to go on. This could even be connected to whatever you have in your moon sign placement as well. Could be more kind of cues or clues to something you had to overcome. That's funny here, because this is like the Five of Wands, and I am really getting that a lot of this is what we're talking about. This is this like doubt and confusion. Someone here has spent a lot of time battling themselves, battling their journey, battling their own true nature, battling who they were, where they should be going, what they should be doing. This in reverse is really coming out as a good thing for whoever this reading is for. You've really made sense of something. You've overcome something. Yeah, because this is coming through from like self-deceit. That's interesting. I was going to say self-defeat. So someone here in the Seven of Swords can represent not being forthcoming, or not wanting to look at something straightforward, or maybe not. It's connected to this doubt energy here, but this is a good thing. This is something someone here has overcome. You went from, this is really like, this could even be mask energy. Someone here may have been kind of putting on a front. You had this personality prepared when you would go around certain groups, certain individuals. Someone here is like taking off this mask. Someone here has stopped battling their own true nature, and doubt is very significant for someone here. Something about you and the doubt. So that is Four of Cups on its side, which can really be about not looking at something. I feel like someone is more, the fact that this is coming out sideways on top of this energy suggests that there is more work to be done, which could be why you're closer than ever, but you're not quite where you're hoping to be yet. And it's really because you're looking in the right direction. You're looking clearly at something more and better than you ever have before. So this is confirmation that someone here is definitely going in the right direction. Especially when it comes to, again, something about doubt. This doubt can be connected to like overthinking energy. Maybe that's something you learn to put down. Maybe you learn how that doesn't serve you. Or maybe that is something about selling yourself short, which this energy here can connect to as well. Selling yourself short. Confirmation. Maybe you didn't realize how strong you were, how courageous you were, all these things. Someone here maybe had to go through a heck of a lot of obstacles really to find self-love. And look at all these aces. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Someone here really, because of your level of overthinking, of self-doubt, of inner conflict, and really that doubt, it's connected to external faith, but even more to external faith, it's connected to faith in yourself, faith in your capability, trusting yourself, trusting your decisions, trusting your intuition. All of these things here are connected to this. Someone here literally had to go through a really, like, it's coming through. Someone here maybe thinking it's like a shit ton. That's really how it's coming out. Someone here feels like they have been through a shit ton of external obstacles, and Spirit is coming through like you really had to go through all of this just to see yourself, just to see that you were actually strong, reliable, courageous, that You know, you didn't need as much external validation or whatever this is here that you were struggling with. You didn't need as much as that as you thought you did. So again, yeah, this was very much connected to some sort of major soul level lesson for someone. Often comes out with Saturn energy. Saturn energy can create quite a few challenges and obstacles in order to gain wisdom in a specific kind of, imagine if you have like departments within yourself, a lot of times it can be connected to one or maybe even like two specific departments within yourself. So again, for whoever's resonating with, like, you feel some sort of internal confirmation that you are King of Cups. Someone here could be a King of Cups, or you come out, your energy comes out as like King of Cups, which makes a lot of sense for this like healing energy here. Someone here may be very empathetic, or you have a deep intuition. Someone here may even have the capability of, like, for instance, when you're around someone who has like a sickness or a wounding, and they aren't saying it, they aren't talking about it, but you intuitively pick up on it, you can feel it, you can sense it, however that works for you. Someone here may have a gift like that. You may be very quick to be like, God, I didn't know you had that problem, or just you might not even say it out loud. You just have some sort of understanding or knowing. Someone here, again, it's like part of these challenges you went through. This could be for someone here. Someone here may really look at something very specifically. You might have a strong earth sign placement. This could be earth sign related, but someone here maybe very specifically could look at, like, if I have this much money, this is how much I'm worth. This is how good I am. My worth and my this and my that is connected to how much money I have, how much money I make at my job. Something like that here. This might have been scaled back a bit, because really, whoever this is for, God had you looking at you and what value, like you as a value, you as the value, not like money as the value of you, of what you have inside yourself, what you carry, what you're good at, what your skills are, what your time is worth, all these things. Somebody here, your journey had you really, really trying to look at that. And that may be how it went for a while. I'm kind of getting there were a lot of hiccups along the way on this journey, because you really didn't want to look at that. You were really highly focused on whatever you felt like you were lacking in that moment. Yeah, someone here, maybe you were working your butt off and you didn't feel like you were, you kept getting turned down for the raise, or you kept getting, your paycheck was shorted, or you kept having to change jobs, something like that here. Something was very slowed down in someone's finances, because you were specifically supposed to be looking at your own worth and your own value outside of that. Just what you're worth, what you are, who you are. Confirmation, I just saw 8 of Pentacles next to 5 of Pentacles. No, I'm sorry, 8 of Cups, which is like walking away. It's leaving something behind that doesn't serve you anymore. Next to the 5 of Pentacles, which is an energy of lack, specifically surrounding your finances. Confirmation, you're the Magician here. I really feel like I'm talking to a Divine Masculine. A lot of times, that energy comes up for Divine Masculine, the Magician. There's even another reader I like that often sees kind of like divine counterparts as The divine feminine will come out as the high priestess, and the divine masculine will come out as the magician. I do very much recognize that and agree with that particular reader. This is what I'm seeing here. I really feel like this is directed towards divine masculine. So there's confirmation in here. Just as I'm saying that, we've got the Sun and the Nine of Cups, which is like the two highest good omens in the tarot reading. There's confirmation in here that what this underneath the surface, what you see is true wish fulfillment, what you feel like you're hoping for, wishing for, moving towards, all you really care about at the end of the day. Even though there's a lot of talk about money in here, for someone it could be love. With this, literally says love here. It could be some sort of relationship. It could be like a soulmate, someone like who has the same vision as you, who understands the same language as you, who appreciates the same things you appreciate, or however you want to look at that. That's something different for everybody. That's definitely in here. That's definitely confirmation in here. And just as I was saying this, these two cards came out, which is the Nine of Cups and the Sun, which is again positive omen, regardless of how soon and how near that is for someone here. You're definitely going in the right direction more than ever. So please, there's encouragement from your ancestors here, from your spirit team. For some of you, it literally is here. Four of Wands for me is divine counterpart energy. Again, something about a divinely guided soulmate. Do keep trusting that about your intuition and try to let go of timing, because I'm definitely not going to promise anyone timing. We do have 10 and 1 here, which again, next year is like 10 and 1. Confirmation with the Star and the Hierophant. So regardless of when that comes in for you, there is a bit of encouragement to please keep doing whatever it is you've been doing. Whatever you've changed recently, you're definitely going in the right path. When it comes to that, something to look at may be this Four of Cups. Four of Cups here, and which could be a needing for a change in perspective, or a needing to accept something as it is. So acceptance might be something here. There's something here to be looking at when it comes to this Four of Pentacles sideways. I'm going to go ahead and switch decks, and then we're going to see what that is. This Four of Pentacles sideways. I just saw 22:55 on the clock, and there's like a friendly reminder. That's what you're being asked to pay attention to, and somehow that is connected to this Four of Pentacles sideways. And for some of you more specifically, it might be about leaving behind certain habits or whatever that don't serve you anymore. Very much it's like you know, the Four of Cups, there's an extra cup there that someone should take and is not looking at. But it can also point, for me personally, it shows up in readings sometimes connected to things people do when they're maybe complacent, or they're bored, or something like that here. This could even be a cup that, for instance, one of my cards specifically in the Four of Cups, this guy is like in a bar drinking. It's connected to that as well. So it can be bad habits here. But there's like a reminder for you to they really want you to pay attention. Your ancestors and whoever's watching over you in your kind of journey at this time really wants you to pay attention to the what and the why you had these obstacles, and what they did for you, not against you. There was like a reason for this here, which came out initially about something of you focusing, especially with this Ace of Cups, And if you are attracting a higher level soulmate, these things come into play through self-love a lot of times, believe it or not. It's through attracting and not chasing. And how do you attract love? By embodying that, right? So when you're neglecting yourself, doubting yourself, not looking at yourself, putting yourself last, all that kind of stuff, that is not embodying the Ace of Cups. That is not embodying self-love. So that is what someone here may be being pointed towards. Because there's definitely, with that coming out sideways, it's like you've made good progress when it comes to something specific, but it's still here in the energy. So there's still something to be looked at. Again, it keeps coming up like your perspective here. Excuse me. And it may be, again, connected to, here we have a man holding a coin coming out on this Saturn energy that initially came out. Yeah, look at that. It's connected to this Saturn lesson for you again. Had to do with that perspective you had about my worth and my value and my this. And how you were seeing money. So that, whatever came out about that, yeah, because there's possibility here. This isn't a promise. And if anything, this just means a major change is coming. Sometimes a storm warning or a tower moment can even be a good thing. But there's really a reminder here to whatever you have worked on letting go, putting in the past, to leave it there. To make sure you really made sense of the lesson so you can leave it in the past. Because confirmation, this is the 10 of Cups in this card. And further confirmation of the 4 of Wands. This card is both for me in this particular deck. So you definitely have this coming into your energy. But whatever this was, you know, someone here might even, because of some sort of perspective you had to overcome that was very much money focused and not like self-focused. I'm really getting the energy of like miserly. Someone here could have the capability. That's how it's coming through. That you could have the capability. And what I'm saying is, this isn't going to serve you in this new relationship. And here we have hostility here next to this. That's not going to work in this relationship, and whoever this new counterpart is not going to stand for it. You know, this is someone who's like your high-level soulmate. They're like the queen to your king. So make sure you're staying in your king energy when you're up there, basically. For someone here, this really is your counterpart. It really is. This has something to do with this, like, this inner conflict here that someone was struggling with previously. Yeah, someone here may have been dealing with, again, some sort of like unhealthy, like the way you did something or were looking at something. This is what we were talking about earlier with that four of Cups energy, attachment here. Looking at something the wrong way and giving into something that didn't serve the highest version of yourself, or the version that attracts this higher level soulmate. Not to say this person is above you in any way. It's really, a lot of times you two are kind of on the same, you've been doing the same obstacles at the same time and having the same kind of level up. And then you cross paths. You're really like attracting each other, even through your trials, but then transmuting those trials into self-love energy. I hope that makes sense for whoever this reading is for. I'm going to get some final messages for you. Really coming for like divine masculine is strongly coming through in this energy. Even if you are divine feminine, you still resonate with this energy, that is fine also. But divine masculine is highlighted here. regardless of whether you are a water sign or you just come out as, especially those of you who have healing gifts, can come out as like a King of Cups or a Queen of Cups anyways. So that's just confirmation for someone. What's the final messages for Divine Collective, please? Even if you don't resonate with like terms like light worker, someone here has that energy. You may have that really kind of like imprinted on your heart. You feel like you have some sort of deeper, like you feel like you have some sort of responsibility over like your soul or your heart, whether it's connected to your family or just connected to your own journey or connected to a higher power. It's definitely coming through that way. So I'm really getting here that this is connected to that inner conflict or that struggle that you are going through, because doubt was also very much highlighted in the beginning. These are things to be very much like really nail it and just kind of stay there. This card says, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Definitely something about your belief, your faith. And again, we were talking about some sort of purpose here is highlighted in this as well. Don't forget to pray. I feel like someone here learned this on their journey through this struggle here. Through the struggle you went through, you learned to turn into prayer. This is something that you're also being guided. Please don't ever let that go. Don't forget that. Don't forget that lesson. Take it with me everywhere. You may have been praying someone here was praying it off to get through some sort of struggle. I saw 314 on the clock, confirmation. Your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things. So someone here may have been in these struggles. You really learned to turn into prayer. Way to go for that. Confirmation with the fear, something about fear and doubt and your belief. This is what part of what has been challenged recently. That one fell down. I am going to try, if I can see it, I'm going to try and get it, because I have a feeling that you're going to need to know that. Right, this is about protection, which came out in the beginning as well. And then 444 came on the clock. Whosoever shall doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same as my brother and sister and mother. So you could be really like, again, if you don't really understand that and you don't really resonate with it, it's still kind of coming through that you could be kind of the way shower in your family, or as you might commonly hear on the internet, like generational curse breaker. Someone here, you really carry that energy, which would be why your ancestors are very closely with you at this time. Let's see what this says, because there's a final important message here. Thou shalt love the Lord God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And this is in reverse, and this, I'm telling you, is very much connected to whatever it means for you to come out with this, like this Four of Cups energy. This something that you needed to learn and leave behind. And for some of you, very specifically, trigger warning, it could point at like an addiction specifically. There's a great need. This is going to present a challenge. Whatever this is for someone specifically, this could present a challenge or a temptation or something in the future, long down the line. So please stand strong in what you've learned and in your growth, and be mindful of that. Whoever you are, and you learn to pray always, and you learn to turn in the right direction in the times of trouble. That is part of the right direction you're going into. I hope you guys got confirmation, clarity out of this reading. You enjoyed the reading. I will see you again next time.